we're going to be talking about 5 tips how you can reach more customers as a service-based business. Before we get into it, I just want to let you know I've been so excited to make this video because not only do I love service-based businesses, I operate as a service-based business as a marketing consultant. It's awesome because it's one of the few types of business models that, doesn't always involve that dreaded J curve. I know some of my clients get tired of hearing me talk about, the J curve. The inception of your business starts, or the idea, if you will, and then you have to invest a bunch of money, and then there's a period of negative equity, negative returns and stuff, and that time period can last for so long. It seems like for a lifetime for some business owners. And then you finally start catching traction, you start breaking even, and then you start to experience returns. But with a lot of service-based businesses, we don't even need that J curve anymore, because it's like once you start your business, like you may be in the hole $1,000 between forming the business and setting up a website and some other stuff. Depending on your industry, you might be in the hole a little more. But from your very first customer, you can experience a return on your investment. And it's powerful. I encourage a lot of new entrepreneurs or people that are trying to get into the field of, starting a business for themselves to consider a service-based business. Now, of course, there's a downside to it, and it's to a degree you're tied to that business. You don't have off time if you are working for customers, and where someone has to perform a service for customers, in theory, you don't really get to experience that off time running a service-based businesses. But however, there are ways to achieve off time in a service-based business, but that's not the point of this video at all. We're going to go ahead and get into the 5 top tips of how I encourage my clients to operate in order for them to obtain new customers or to reach customers. That's the thing. Everyone's concerned about how they obtain new customers, and that's the goal. But the number one way I find that you can obtain new customers is to reach some of these customers where they spend their time. We are all consumers of social media. We are all consumers of the internet. I don't know a person between the ages of 16 years old and maybe 65 years old that do not have a cell phone. Well, mine's on my desk because I'm making this video, but they do not have a cell phone attached to them at some capacity. We are all consumers of anything that is on the internet in some area, or we are all consumers of apps. So, some of the most low-cost, highly effective ways to reach customers, because that's the point, reach those potential customers, is to simply have a presence and be active where those people are. And that's going to get us into number 1. Number 1 is the most critical step in this whole 5-tip video, because without number 1, it doesn't matter how active you are on any platform. It doesn't matter how well you're advertising almost, even if you have a brick and mortar location. So number 1 is to simply build a central hub where potential customers can either book your services via form or set an appointment via form or call your business. Now, I know there's Google My Business, there's Facebook pages, there's Instagram pages, and all this and that. And ultimately, you're going to need a profile on every platform there is, but this first step is actually talking about a central hub. We're talking about a website. Now, you may already have a website, and that's great, and that's what you need, but your website needs to fit a certain criteria, if you will. It needs to be responsive for both desktop and mobile view. It needs to look as beautiful on a cell phone device, if not more pretty than it does on a desktop, because the majority of people that are going to visit your website are going to be on a mobile device. A lot of designers design mobile first these days. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you visit your website on desktop and you're like, man, this is great. This is an awesome looking website. But then you go on mobile and everything's kind of distorted and looks funny. No, you need a new website, right? Or you need a website to begin with if you don't have a website. There's a lot of tools that can help you build a website. There's the Squarespace, there's Wix. If you're not that savvy, you can utilize WordPress or Webflow if you are pretty savvy. But my assumption is if you're savvy, you already have a website. Or you could hire someone to build your website for you. Whatever you do is okay as long as that website is easy to navigate, it's not complicated to book your services, and it needs to read easy. We need to assume that all consumers are dumb. I don't mean it in a bad way, a callous way, or anything, but you will be way more successful on building your website if you assume that your consumers are dumb. And what I mean by that is they don't know anything about your industry. Right? I can talk a language that would probably go over your head if you're not a marketing consultant or a web designer because you don't know my industry. Just like when I go to the dentist or the doctor, they'll get to telling me what's wrong and what I need to do to fix it. And I'm just like, hey, I don't understand what you're talking about, man. It's not because I'm like dumb. It's just I don't work in their industry. So you need to actually formulate your website to where a layman can understand what you're talking about on that website. And B, it needs to look beautiful on mobile and desktop. And C, it needs to be as easy as clicking a button, not having to look all around the website to click the button to book your services, but it can just be right there on the home page, click a button, book. That's the most important thing. As soon as someone gets to your website, you need to immediately have a call to action where they can call you as the business or they can submit a form and get your services. Not everyone's going to be ready to book your services directly as soon as they get on the homepage of your website, but a lot will be. And the harder you make it for them to book your services or to give you a call, the less likely they're going to convert. So that's step number one. The reason why step number one is to ensure you have a central hub that fits those qualifications is because steps 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are going to be driving traffic to that number one. And if you don't have a number one, you don't have the central hub to drive the traffic to, the rest of this video is almost pointless, okay? So make sure you build a central hub. Tip number 2, develop a strategic content marketing strategy that will allow you to drive traffic from social media to your website. Now, of course, there's some pre-work that has to be done for this step to happen. You need to ensure that you have social media sites built for your company or your business on every social media site that consumers are actively using. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, TikTok, LinkedIn. I may even go as far to say Snapchat and YouTube. And a lot of business owners and my clients, no different. There's actually a small handful of my clients that are on board with that. They're like, yeah, I get it. But it's important to have a social media account for your business across every single platform. It doesn't matter what the general age demographic is, or what you assume the general age demographic is that uses that platform, because everybody uses those platforms that I was just talking about. The reason you might not, and there might not be a propensity for a lot of business owners to use those platforms, and why they're adverse to using them to begin with, is us as business owners, we need time. We're lacking time. We don't have a lot of time to spend on social media, but your consumers are there. You get what I'm saying? The consumers, the general person that works the 9-to-5 W-2 employee type people, they are on social media. And they're on social media in their downtime, relaxing, trying to unwind. A lot of business owners are too. It just depends. Gary Vaynerchuk, I know he's on social media all the time. Same with Grant Cardone, other big time types of consultants. But it's important to be wherever people are spending their time. The main focus on the tips that we're talking about in this video are free plays. They're free. They don't cost a lot of money, or they don't cost any money to pursue. And that should be valuable to you. If a play doesn't cost you more overhead than you're already spending on your day-to-day operations, you need to visit that play and exacerbate your use of it, right? Chances are you have no idea of how far a video on social media could go to bring you in more clients or more consumers. As far as the type of content that you should be putting on your social media, it's pretty simple. I use like a rule to where it's like a ratio almost. So for every one piece of content that I put out that advertises a service that I offer, or a product that I sell, I put out 2 types of content that have nothing to do with my product and what I'm offering. One of those other 2 would be educational, trying to educate the consumer about why something that's in my industry is beneficial to their use. But I don't plug myself in there, right? I'm just trying to be helpful. Develop some trust and rapport with a potential future customer to maybe get them to say, well, what is this channel about, or what is this profile about? Because then they'll go and click your profile and be like, oh, I'll follow it maybe because it's some good content. But they'll see your website right there on your profile. They'll see your business right there on your profile. They might conduct business with you from seeing that video, even though you didn't even plug your business in that educational type of video. The other type of content that I would put is just general, something positive, right? So it could be, something of good faith. Maybe you sharing someone else's post that has done something good or you think is very beneficial to what you would want your consumers to see. Or it could be something simply with you publishing something that's beneficial. Now, any types of content for these 3 types of posts that I was just talking about, you can shoot videos with your phone, videos with a camera. You take pictures with your phone, pictures with a camera, or you can simply just post text. All 3 of them are good, but I definitely wouldn't try to spam your social media accounts, only plugging your services and only plugging, what you have for sale. It's sometimes helpful to, hitch a ride on the trending stuff. What is trending in pop culture, or what is society actively talking about on social media right now? It's nice to piggyback off of that because a lot of people probably would like to hear your opinion. I would avoid politics or anything confrontational, but just general pop culture stuff in society is always acceptable to hop on. Now, as far as it goes with, I know I mentioned like 6 types of different social media accounts that you need to set up for your business and to maintain actively. And you're like, that sounds like it would take 4 or 5 hours a day if I each individually managed all of those accounts. And you're right, it probably would take that much time. The solution I use is what's called a social media management tool. There are all kinds. I'm not sponsored by any of them, so you can hate me for throwing them out here. But my very favorite one is called Loomly. Loomly. It's the most affordable, and it suits my use case. It has a mobile app too, so I can publish on the go. And what a social media management tool does is it connects all of your social profiles and social media accounts, and you are able to schedule posts for the future. And it'll automatically post them for you when the time's right. And it's laid out as a calendar. Loomly just is the bomb for it. I hope I can say bomb in a video. It is the bomb for it because it has, you can schedule unlimited, infinite amount of posts into the future. It's laid out day by day in a monthly calendar. Other types of apps are like Buffer, Hootsuite. I know there's a couple of others, but either those pieces of software either are very expensive for what I use it for, or there's restrictions on photo sizes or video sizes. And, for me, I like to upload large videos and large images, so I don't like being restricted on those use cases. You can even connect your Google business profile in Loomly and some of the others. So it's really easy to make one piece of content, click schedule, and it'll post to all those accounts for you, and you don't even have to keep up with it. So that's this tip: developing and maintaining a solid content marketing strategy for your company, because you'll find that a lot of people will come across your business that never would have seen or known about your business in the first place, and it didn't cost you $1 by publishing social media content. One of the books I was just reading, actually I have it right here, Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. He was talking about a dentist that started doing what I just told you to do on social media, and dentists are service-based business owners too, if you think about it. And what she started doing was publishing educational type videos on how to help certain general situations as it pertains to dentistry. And then she started getting so booked up. She was booked in 4 or 5 years in advance on new client appointments at her dentistry. And I was like, what a great use. I would have never thought about something like that for dentistry, but there you have it. 3, this is pretty powerful and you may have not thought about it. Do you own a business and find that instead of your monthly revenue increasing, it slowly plateaued or even worse, began to decrease? Then maybe it's time to reach out to me for a free marketing consultation. I specialize in working one-on-one with new and existing businesses in all industries to obtain them more customers and increase their sales by offering a full suite of marketing and advertisement services to help business owners just like you achieve their growth potential. Think of me not just as a service provider, but as a growth partner who's also invested in your success. My process is simple. Initially, through a free consultation, I find out where your business is and where you are heading versus where you should be. Then I put together a concise plan of action that outlines and details my strategy plan and how it's going to positively affect your business. Then together we kick our plan into action. All of my efforts are quantifiable, backed by data-driven analytical reports on all of the campaigns that we are running for your business. That way we can ensure that you are achieving an optimal ROI. Are you ready to experience exponential growth inside of your business? Visit my website at joshualeebryant.com or give me a call at 423-579-3261 so we can get started today. I proudly serve business owners all throughout the United States. I look forward to hearing from you. 3, this is pretty powerful and you may have not thought about it. Create an event that will serve as a public relations campaign. And some of you may be apprehensive of this idea because it may come off bad or it may seem like it's not authentic or something. But look, doing good work for your local community is doing good work for your local community. Whether you decide to utilize that as an opportunity, to take pictures and videos of what you've done and publish it on your social media accounts or your website, or, have someone from your staff reach out to your local news station to get them to cover that event, that doesn't take away that you did something good for your local community. You can throw a fundraiser event for a local nonprofit that you realize that's just not getting enough funds in. And, I was thinking about doing this for myself, and we have a pretty bad homeless problem here, and I don't fault the homeless people. I think it's sad the situation that they're in, and I wish more could be done to help them. But the nonprofit that does the most for the homeless situation in my local area is the Salvation Army. What if I could throw a fundraiser that could benefit their efforts to increase their capacity for new homeless people because it's growing at an exponential rate locally for me? And I was like, that'd be great. And, off the top of my head, just thinking about how it would all pan out, like, of course I would have to, sponsor it, pay the money for food if we have food there, live music if we have entertainment there, and, maybe some auction items or whatnot. But the outcome from something of that capacity in my mind would be so powerful because the local news media would cover it because they support that nonprofit as well. And it would bring an outpouring of people to attend the event that would learn about that nonprofit and actually do stuff to help them. The news media would cover you as the main sponsor of the event or the only sponsor if you wasn't allowing extra people to sponsor it. But you also could utilize that to give brochures or informational type printouts to people that attend that event and the nonprofit itself. The nonprofit may be so happy that you helped them. They may publish about your company on their blog or their website or their social media accounts as well. So I see an opportunity like that for public relations is powerful because it develops trust. It develops good faith in the eyes of your local community for you as a business. But it also is doing something really, really great for your community, helping a situation that that company or that nonprofit wouldn't be able to do to the magnitude if outside help wasn't helping them. I know there's a lot of help there. But then you would be able to publish, information about how you were able to step in and provide, some help for them. And it gives an awesome opportunity for a tax write-off as well for your business. Tip number 4, offer a relevant low ticket offer or free offer as a lead magnet to attract new customers. I know a lot of business owners are already doing that. I know we see all kinds of lead magnets on social media currently and online, but the reason we see so many of them is because they work. A lot of service-based businesses might have a hard time finding what it is that they could offer. I'll help you go through just a couple of ideas and maybe you can figure out how you can put your own twist on them. So the number one is a free consultation, right? Because a free consultation is you simply talking to them in person, talking to them via Skype or Zoom, or simply taking a phone call. You can inquire about their needs, about what they're looking for in a company like you, and you can ensure to them and develop that trust on that call with them or that meeting with them, how you're going to be able to fulfill what they're looking for in a way that they can afford it. Another great idea is a free something with your first something. Now, I have to leave it pretty vague because I know there's going to be HVAC repair people watching this. You know, I understand there'll probably be contractors watching this video, other web designers watching this video. You know, whatever you decide to give for free is based on what you can offer. If I was an HVAC repair technician, I might say something along the lines of a free maintenance call with the installation of any new HVAC system. If you were a plumber, you could say something along the lines of a free X amount of point inspection on your sewer lines or your plumbing of your house for every service call or something. I know I'm probably butchering that all up, but it kind of makes sense, right? Because like, yeah, you may be wasting that time and not be compensated for that time. But if you could identify some problem areas while you're there, you might literally be utilizing that free item to upsell your services in ways that people didn't even know they needed your services. So, you know, whatever's clever is the way to go about it. But there are all types of low ticket items or free offers you could give that really are typically just free anyway. And that's normally what I say. If you're going to come up as a business owner with a free offer that you're going to publicize, try to first do something that is already free that you give a potential client that they just don't know is free. I know one of my clients, they offer a free custom 3D design for their pools. And they also offer a free virtual reality experience where you could experience this custom 3D design of what your pool and what your new backyard would look like after they finish construction. So you can not only see the 3D rendering and it's yours to keep for free, but you could also go to their showroom, put on 3D goggles or VR goggles and see with the power of Google Maps and thank God for technology, what your actual backyard is going to look like after construction's done. Those are two things that they were already doing for free, but now they offer it as a lead magnet. We have advertisements running on those two lead magnets. And that's powerful. You know, so a lot of business owners are already offering these things, low ticket offers or lead magnets, but they might not publicize them to the degree of thinking, oh, these things could actually get me more clients in the future if I actually ran ads on them or just simply posted them on social media, made a web landing page on their website just for that lead magnet to draw in people to fill out a form and give some customer information to those business owners. And tip number 5, which is our final tip of how to reach new customers as a service-based business, is to consider using direct mail in the neighborhoods that fit your target demographic. A lot of people might think that direct mail is dead, but direct mail is absolutely not dead. It's very powerful. Especially with the ability to do micro sends as opposed to sending, you know, like one piece of direct mail across your whole city. If you can designate, you know, one neighborhood that fits all the pre-qualifications to conduct business with your business and then send, you know, one piece of mail out there a day for 5 or 7 days, as opposed to one piece of mail for 50,000 residents of a city, you would be blown away by how that works out. And I said something there that might have struck you a little funny. Anyway, reaching out to people that are pre-qualified to actually even do business with you. That's a big thing that I focus on for my clients. Is I'm not trying to waste time just with the public for you. I'm not trying to waste time just showing ads to anyone that'll look at those ads. I'm only interested in showing ads to people and producing ads for people that are qualified to conduct business with your business. If they can't afford your services, if they don't even have something that they would need to do business with you in the first place, like a house if you're a plumber, or a house if you're a construction, person for, remodeling or anything, there's no point in showing them advertisements. But you can do that with direct mail too. Say you only have $1,000 and you're trying to figure out how to use that $1,000 for direct mail, make it work for you. You could identify, either 1,000 houses that fit your criteria and send one piece of mail to all of those houses and hope that those people saw your piece of mail and convert off that one piece of mail. Or you could identify 250 residents that are super qualified for your product and send them 4 pieces of mail, one day by day, or actually one every other day. It not only increases the chances of those people conducting business with you or going to your website, but it develops some kind of psychological phenomenon with these people too. They're like, man, this company really must be pretty huge to be able to afford to hit everyone with this direct mail day after day this many times, because they don't know how many other people you've sent that mail to. That hyper-targeted direct mail type of thing is something really powerful. So those were the top 5 tips I have for service-based business owners to reach new customers. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find it very useful for your business. And I look forward to catching you on the next video.